live now? Huh? Good evening and welcome to another episode of Gone Fishing. I'm your host tonight, Ray, along with Mike. We are
A little out of sorts. Ray, go in.
we just got I was looking on Facebook before we got on and somebody had posted, oh, there's northern lights are going on outside. So if you're watching, hop outside, go outside, check out the northern lights.
See, watch, Ray.
Did you watch this?
No,
I
no.
looked at it.
First on your phone. That's fine. Whatever.
Yeah.
But
Go out and check it out, man. It's good stuff.
you're not leaving us. Don't leave us.
Yeah, you can leave us. It's okay for a little bit. You go out and check it
Yeah,
out.
I guess we did.
It's a rarity these days. It's a rarity.
It's a rarity. When I lived in Vermont, it was a rarity.
Yeah, so I don't see it. I wanted to go to Wisconsin just to go see it the first time.
Really?
And I've never been there to see it. So
So
that's
this
just
is the time
hey,
of year.
shut that door up there.
I gotta
That's
tell
what to
you.
do. Please, thanks, man.
I gotta tell you. My father always told me that the night I was born. So people. Today's what? What day?
Today's the
10th?
10th of October.
I have 14 days left of being in my 20s
Lies.
or 40s, whatever.
He goes from 40s and 70s.
So next, actually, on October 24th, I turned 50. My father always told me the night I was born, on the way to the hospital, he pulled over the northern. So it's the time of year, people.
Yeah, this cool. I've never seen them, so it's the first time for me. So hey, look, first time I've seen something. Always like into the astronomy, like telescope. Always into doing some things and stuff like that. And I think it's pretty cool. But anyway, so hey, look, so tonight we're going to discuss some fall fishing.
Okay, bear with me, guys, because I'm usually on
You've
Facebook.
interrupted me 4 times now, and I have said right here that you interrupt me every time.
Kind of.
And you're worried that people are not watching the Northern Lights. I can't even talk to you. So I don't care that you're not on Facebook. You're not that important.
I'm very
I'm more important.
to you.
Well, to everybody. Everybody who watches me says I'm important. I'm famous. Rock star.
You're rock star. I'm rock star. I'm really.
Yeah, I'm rock star. So anyway, I'm gonna jump out of this a little bit here, out of the fishing thing. For all you Philly fans out there, yeah,
And this is where we're going with this.
rough season, but there's a positive.
They don't give a shit about
the
Philly.
positive right here, baby. Flyers tomorrow. We start our season. I can't wait. So it might put me less on the water.
Raise your hand if you care about this.
I don't care about you. You're
What?
Vermont. You guys look at stick. I know that's on top of your TV. Did you have those rat ears?
Yeah.
Put tinsel around rat ears. Sticking up there.
I used to make Matt stand there and hold the table up. They had a little hat on and shit. Yeah.
Looking up from the gamma rays, man. Remember like twice a week.
What's up? I'm on live. Okay, that was a waste.
Yeah, but anyway, we continue on with the fall fishing. It's time now. We had a cold day this morning. I know I walked outside in my shorts this morning. I was, oh man, this is exhausting. I was like,
Wind blew.
but now it's going to be like weekend's going to be nice. Um, in the 70s. Me and Mike were already talking about doing some fishing, and
Is it on?
but anyway, but are we done? Are we done interrupting? Yeah. Oh my God, I can't wait for next week. You're not going to get 3 words out in the first 5 minutes. Huh? What?
Is someone talking?
Exactly. That's what like. Someone talking. Did you guys hear Mike? Did you hear Mike? Look at the Chinese, the old Chinese fight. Like, I will kill you. But anyway, guys, let's talk some fall fishing. We're gonna put Mike on some big smallmouth this year. You know, he's ready to make me change. He's had a whole experience on the Susquehanna River with me. So now he knows how to prime himself for it and get ready for it. So now he'll be ready.
And baits are like last year. I had no idea.
Yeah, now you're going to be right. But but again, it's the learning. Learn, you figure it out. But so my go-tos during the fall, I like orange and like a brown, black little crankbait. 2.5 inch shallow diver. Don't want to go too deep. If I want to go deep, I'm going for walleye, or musk or something like that. But then I have to use a little tiny uh, little crankbait. I'm going to be using something a little bit more more bigger. Oh, that's real good English, huh? More bigger. but but anyway, people putting their kayaks away. Like when's gonna be your last year? When were you done last year with your kayak? Now you bought your kayak
Right
late
around,
easy.
right around now, and
You get out this week, like just
I, I,
cruise, just throw it out.
yeah, I think right around Thanksgiving I did Bex.
Okay.
I'm both bass and a decent pickerel, which makes sense because
The cold water.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, after that,
Done.
pretty much done. That
I usually wait for all the cold water to kick in. So like in Pennsylvania, they kick in earlier. Is that, I don't
like
know.
cold water laws. Let's explain that.
Okay, so what the cold water law is any boat you're in, and I'm almost positive this is correct, even with a regular boat, you have to have a life preserver on at all times.
Hmm.
Um,
Wearing it.
Wearing it, yeah, it can't just be sitting on the boat. You have to physically have it on. If you are caught by a game warden, yeah, I know it's a $250 fine. You don't have it. And I believe the cold water law in Pennsylvania kicks in November 1st. I don't know the English exactly, but I do know Pennsylvania is really, real big on
You need to turn it off. Sorry, right.
it. No, you're slowing everything down. Get too much going on one thing. Stop playing your little pink game, whatever that game is with the little pink guy on it. Kirby, is that Kirby? But
And
yeah. But anyway, so you put your kayak away then. Like me, that's what I put mine away usually in October. I did do a trip 2 years ago, October, right before Halloween, and it was effing cold. It was
hmm
freaking cold out there, and I mean, it was at the point to where the sun came up. It actually felt like it was 1,000 degrees. How cold it was in the morning. Finally, the sun come up, you warm your body up. Couldn't drink my coffee fast enough. I think the coffee got cold too, even. But yeah, this is a good time. This is one of my favorite times of the year. Actually, be out there and be fishing.
hmm
It's you can go out. I like going out in the morning with a hoodie on. Still a little chilly, but yeah, like the sunrise we saw last year. So cold that morning. It was chilly that morning.
It was very cold.
And that sunrise came up. It was just a little bit of orange. And you were just like, you could actually feel it. Like you could feel a little bit of the heat. It was
I
cold.
didn't.
No, we were just bank fishing. We weren't in
But nice and like by the time we were in shorts,
it's like
we went out there bundled up.
and then we were taking stuff off and fishing. Yeah, that's what I look forward to.
I love that.
Don't get me wrong. I love the summertime fishing. The only problem is when we're out there fishing. Some days it's 100 degrees outside. It's funny. When I'm at work, 100 degrees doesn't bother me. It bothers me too. When I'm out on the water, for some odd reason, I don't feel the heat. I just don't feel it. You sweat out there like a freaking pig. But, man, mosquitoes are eating a lot. So I got to jump back. Talking about mosquitoes. You can't see them now. I healed up. But last week when me and Mike went out fishing, what night was it? It was Tuesday night we all went out?
Yeah.
And we met Mr. Walker, Scott Walker out there. When we were out there, literally, and I opened up my door and I had all the mosquitoes fighting in the lights and everything. Dude, I woke up on Friday, Thursday, I got up, man, all over my neck bumps. Like, dude, I
Really?
I literally thought I was like oh man, what's all over me? So I started rubbing my neck and I'm starting to itch. I'm like, I think it's something
Yeah. Oh, now it's back up. Everything. It's working right before I make sure. Oh, it's the mic. Mic's working when it isn't. I think it's not picking up on. Is it?
Yeah.
It is. Okay, try. It's still okay. Try turning yours back off.
Hello. Hello. Got it. Good. Things are good. Yes. What we were saying is
Oh, yeah.
we're talking about ball fishing. So
Like pickerel. Like pickerel, like how pickerel find their catches.
and then like muskies.
Yeah, they're like yeah, like they go from like I don't know if you ever seen a pickerel in the water. Like I used to fish in mountain river lakes when I was a kid, and we would go up into like the creeks that fed them. The creek would only be 6 foot wide. There'd be weeds and stuff alongside of you. Fishing, we throw anything. Like I would throw like
Anything.
a Mr. Twister. It'd be funny because you could see them. They go from 0 to 9 in a second. Bam, they just hit it. Man, pickerel are a lot of fun to catch. But I hear a lot of people who say, "Oh, I catch pickerel all the time in Delaware." I've never caught a pickerel in Delaware.
Really?
Never caught. Only in Pennsylvania. I've only caught them in PA.
I caught my first Delaware pickerel last year, and I was using blue fox spinner in on the back end of Beck's Pond, and I got to tell you, this thing wasn't that big. It was probably 16 inches. I
Mm.
mean, it's a decent pickerel, but this thing fought. I had no idea what I was in, like what I caught because it fought really well.
Yeah, they do. They do fight nice and stuff like
So
that.
in
Hey,
my mind, you got pickerel who are mini musky. You got pike, which are mid-sized musky, and you got
that
musky.
pike get pretty big too. Pike can get pretty
Pike,
big. Yeah.
but that's I don't know. That's just me. That's how I think of them.
Hammer keeps moving all over the place. I mean, now it is now, but it just was. It's moving, steadily moving. AI off. Fight the AI, man. Sit there and battle AI. See, like it's moving now.
Is it moving now?
It's obvious. But yeah, pike, musky.
Um, I love cold water fish for this reason. You seem to appreciate cold water fish more because you can go out during the summer, you can catch 20, 30, whatever fish. You're doing that in the cold water. So when you catch a fish, it seems to increase the excitement, the adrenaline, because they're they're harder to catch. What it comes down to, it's like my friends that I know I have friends out there that are ice fishing, and there's certain ice fish that I forget what it's called, the little one. can go smell and stuff. Catch those better than just stuff. When you catch and fish ice fishing, it gets the adrenaline going. That's what you live for.
Yeah, and especially when you catch a big muskie in the wintertime. Literally, it was cold shit out there, man. The eyes were all freezing up on the fish pole and stuff like that. And it was amazing because it was fish actually biting, man. I mean, it was like a good day. I mean, which is kind of weird. Like, like it's a lot of more the cold water too. You have to know where they're at.
You
So,
have to know where they're at.
like
And
walleyes, you want to go to the nearest dam. Any dam on any, well, not catching walleye in Delaware. You're in Pennsylvania, fish in the dam.
is there
Always good.
anywhere that there's walleye?
Nah, not in Delaware. The mouth of like where the smaller streams come in to the Susquehanna, so like the tributaries
That's
to it.
still Maryland.
Well, no, I'm Pennsylvania. Hell with
Okay.
Maryland, but you can catch a walleye in Maryland. They're all on the Susquehanna, but like I've noticed, like the tributaries to like the things, the smaller streams. So Octorara Creek, for example. Octorara Creek feeds in below the Conowingo Dam, so that's in Maryland. The Octorara Creek, there's spots along there where we do pair up walleye, like, and I mean I'm talking in the middle of wintertime you can go catch them. And fun. Me and my buddy used to go out in February and stuff, and like just be a warm day, like 45 degrees. And we went and we would do good on them. I mean, it's just how they work. But we also, when we were kids, when I was a lot younger, which was a warm water, had a warm water discharge.
The power plant.
Yeah. So the water would go through the cooling towers and get spilled out into the Susquehanna. So that water all in front of where we 68 degrees. Oh, there was so many fish. Like Scott vouched for me the one night we were out there, and I sat there and I said, "Good, peach mom. I used to catch 60% of my fish before March for the year. Like once the summer came, we were all little small things. Like so, I keep a log, like fishing logs. Keep fishing log. I keep the total amount of fish I catch. The on my logs, I only write down the ones that are 18 inches and bigger.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm almost at 100 there for fish over 18 inches, which is awesome. Because when I was a kid, we used to have this thing. Of course, we used to have film cameras. We didn't have phone cameras where you could take 1,000 pictures a day. So we sat there and we would take pictures, which a fish had to be at least 18 inches. It had to be a nice fish, or we didn't do it. I would go a whole year. Fish for snake. The average snake catch probably 20 to 24.
Yeah.
This summer was the first time I caught snakeheads that were small, like small. They weren't big, but I think the smallest one I had this year, I did catch one that was 15 inches.
Oh, I caught one that was like, I was like, this is ridiculous.
You should have kept that in your. You had no boy today, but you would have a sit out there and try your luck. Let's see if this thing eats.
let's play this out. So people, when I bought my house at the koi pond, and I have beautiful butterfly bordered koi that are worth a fortune, and Ray has been trying from day one to get me to put a snakehead in. Now I have.
We could each catch our dragon right in your backyard. People say, where'd you catch that? Oh, man, Mike's pond.
Some not fog out there. We can take data out of there, but I can't put a. I can't. Actually, it would be a murder scene.
You know how I used to catch, like when I wanted to use frogs for bass bait, because my frogs are good for bass bait. I used to cut a rubber worm and only put a little speck like this out there, just enough of frogs along the pond. You would put it right in front of them. They would get it. As soon as they hit, you set the hook, toss it out there, and thinking it's the water.
Well, that's it. Have you ever caught a frog? How long they because I
That would be pretty badass.
I witnessed this. My buddy Rich,
Awesome.
he cast it out there and went just inside the reach. He
Yeah.
overcast,
Yeah.
and he starts pulling this big ass bullfrog like this, and grabbed that smaller frog, and he caught it. I'm gonna have to get a picture of this. He's got a frog with a hollow body frog in its mouth. But I know on some of our sites I've seen this. This is not a uncommon thing.
No, it's not like I've seen where people have actually had like, pictures of it, like like, oh man, like it hit, might not have been a rubber frog, but hitting like a hollow body, something hollow body. That's pretty crazy though.
Uh, Well, some of these things are so big. I go out in my backyard because that pond's right on the patio. They scare the shit out of
Oh
me.
yeah.
I'll be walking, and then I even by the pond. I keep it and I'm letting the dogs out, and it scares the crap out of you when you're not expecting. And jump up.
And slash scare the shit out of you. Yeah, it's a pain in the ass.
No, right. I'm not putting a snake in it.
Yeah, I think you should.
I know you think I should. Maybe.
You know what I'd like to do? I actually had a friend
Actually,
who
maybe.
who had one. He tamed it. We were minnow seining. This is we were actually fishing on the coast, so we were in a little tribute and we saw minnows. We're like, oh man, let's go get some 5 minnows. We're actually fishing for a bass tournament. So we dropped the seine in and we lifted up, and we had got a little tiny snakehead on. Oh man, save this. Put it in a tank, and we ended up putting it in the minnow bucket. Left it in there, and I think we ended up dumping it out. But I was also doing it one time in the Brandywine Creek. We were going to fish Marsh Creek up in Downtown, Pennsylvania. And we were like, oh, let's go out and seine some minnows. So we went and jumped in Brandywine, narrow. Like, wasn't like the main part of Brandywine, it was just like a little stream that fed off of it. Went in there and seined up. And we actually caught a little 3-inch muskie. Oh, shit. Yeah, my buddy kept it. And we kept that thing alive all day. We used one minnow bucket, put all the minnows in it. The other minnow bucket had this one muskie in it. I think it got to like 12 inches. And it was literally, it was the point where he was having to put 6 minnows in there and more feed it. And we ended up saying, you know what? So when we got to like 12 inches, we released it and we put it into the Octorara Lake. So that thing got eaten, was down there somewhere. That's why it's always funny when I go there and tell people, like, hey, you know what? We're in the Octorara Lake and put it down. But last time I started fishing there a couple years ago, I asked the guy, walked right up to the guy and, hey man, they catching any muskies? And the guy looks at me and says, there ain't no muskies in. Really? I said, and I just like, I'm like, oh yeah, there's muskies in here. I look at me and goes, no, there's not. Muskies in. The guy's like, there's no muskies in. Okay. I think it's a secret that they try to keep. Like some people try to keep a secret. Because I tell you right now, right below the dam, you used to be able to walk up the floor now. You used to be able to walk to the dam. You used to walk across the dam because there was a little small stream that came in. They stopped with trout.
Octorara?
Yeah, and like above where the covered bridge is. So we fished the one dam where the covered bridge was. Used to be able to walk up that bank and fish that all the way up the dam.
Like
Is it
black.
like all that thing? So all the dam upstream from there. It's only like 200 yards up, and then there's the dam. But we walk across it, and the dam would be off because it's thing. So I mean, there was a little water, but wear boots right across like sneakers because it didn't really even go above your sneakers. Walk across, and little tiny holes on the other side. Now on that side, that was another hole from the dam of the lake, and it would fill into a hole that was probably 10 foot by 15. Talking like a 150 square foot hole. Yeah, how deep it was, I can't tell you because
Well, that is, oh,
So my buddy one day walked out. He's like, "Oh, I'm just gonna walk off." Trying to. So we saw a muskie in the hole. It came up after one of our lures. On the other side, and it was pretty shallow to where you could walk and get on the other bank. But he was trying to tip us up because we had to also hide from the people because you weren't supposed to be that far. And we were trying to hide from them. We were fishing the hole, and I can remember this guy sitting. My buddy I was fishing with was using live minnow, and he put like a big sucker on, put it down in there. This thing come up out of there and hit it, and hit his sucker he was using. He set the hook. He had to think that thing literally. I swear to God, ran down in water that was probably only 6 inches deep. Like his back was out of the water, and it went shooting down to the main area right into. There, he fought that thing for probably 10 minutes. Now you got to realize now, back in the day, I fished with an ultralight 90% of the time.
Yeah.
So I had like a trout pole. My man's bad on this thing, and I'm talking fighting it for a while, and then it just finally snapped his line. I mean, I saw that thing didn't just come above the dam and come up there. That thing probably came over. But we would sit there in that hole right before dark, an hour before dark, we start catching walleye. Good time walleye. We would go 4 or 5 on them. It was limits 5 or we would catch them like 18, 19, 20 inches. And do you remember when we fished that cover bridge? There was that little like thing where the water was coming out of. It was that big concrete wall right there. Remember we were fishing? It was like just like a little 10-foot wide thing. In the wintertime, water flows a little bit out of there. If you can get something down there, drop it down into that hole right there, right next to it, the walleyes stack up in there. They're in there, and we would sit there and just take night crawlers, toss them down in there with a big heavy split shot on, and drop it right down. Sometimes you go there and it's totally off. It's you can actually watch your worm drop, and you can watch the walleye come out. Grab your worm, set your hook, and you do. But anyway, we would catch walleye all the time up there. Well, and we had them sitting on the bank. We had them tied up on a stringer, like a trout stringer. Had the stringer wrapped around the tree. So the night my buddy was catching his muskie, we had 4 walleye on his stringer. So I'm like sitting there, we're like 20 yards over, and I'm telling my buddy, I said, "Yeah, man, I'm gonna go grab our stringer because we're going back up there to keep fishing." I was like, "Okay." We came up. Dude, we had 3 raccoons had our walleye up on the bank and were eating them already, dude.
Really?
They literally got like whatever.
So they knew. They knew that that wasn't their first rodeo.
Yeah. Like they were like, "Hey, these guys got some fish for us." They came out of the woods, but I mean, my buddy fought that muskie for probably a good I'd say 15 minutes, easy 15 on an ultralight. Like if he would have got it in, it would have been a big feat. But the monkeys I caught in December, way freaking big. I mean, it doesn't matter. This is probably like 30 to 35 inches muskie, and it was amazing. Like, literally, we're fishing only like 100 square foot of an area. It was just a pool.
Yeah, I know.
And it was
that's great. I had my buddy Joe, and he fished below Greenwood Lake. No, it was called the Wanakee River, and we were fishing the spillway, and he, on an ultralight just like that, hooked into a muskie, and he had at the time growing back into the 1990s, spider wire on. It was 4 pound spider wire, so it was rated for whatever. And he hooked into it, and literally, it wasn't quite. I picture like the old river run through it. Yeah. Great movie. But he was going to fought this thing. He landed it on that ultralight. It was a 35-inch muskie. He landed on that ultralight only because he was moving down. Like he was moving with it. And on that same year, he caught a 24-inch walleye out of the same hole because, and this is why, like last week we were talking about this, spillway fishing under a dam when the water gets a little bit lower, you know what the hell you're gonna. You could catch anything from a sunfish to a muskie,
Yeah,
and we were actually there for trout fish.
yeah,
Trout.
yeah,
And like, so we were set up for trout with spinners. We went up there. We had um Anthony Martin spinners, some Blue Fox spinners. We went there with boards, and we went up there with the minnows. And I don't remember at this point what he quoted on, but Joe always did well. He just found that spot in the
mm,
water.
that's what it is. It's just fine. Like, but yeah, but back to like the walleyes. Like that's what you're searching for in the wintertime. You want to go to the dams. Walleye run upstream. And once they flood like the dams on the Susquehanna, pretty much done for the year because they run all winter long. They don't just cut off. They constantly. I mean, now because we are like pretty much in a drought situation. You know, like we're all in this drought. You know what I mean? Like, well, we're not really drought, but you know, we haven't had. I don't know where everybody else is at, but I know here in Delaware we haven't had rain. We haven't had any rain in freaking. It has to be at least 3 weeks. We need
I'm
rain.
kind of okay with this. I
Okay.
have to mow my lawn.
Oh, I cut my grass in a month. I mean, that shit can go as long as it wants. It's funny because I grew all this grass seed last year, and it was all nice and everything. And it all died in the summertime. We had no rain, and we still aren't having rain. But I got all this new grass where it should be. They start to fall back in again. If I can only get some rain now, it might would all come back. But in the meantime, yeah, I don't have to cut my grass. What's up, John?
And it actually works. Ray's got like 37 dogs.
I have six, five dogs. Yeah.
537. That's like kind of the same.
The Saint Bernard can probably act for like 30 dollars, so she's a big girl.
Piper's awesome.
Yeah.
Ray's Ray. I joke when we come here because Ray's got the most fucked up start, the most mess you've ever seen. Yes, thing from the
I have a lab, Saint Bernard, and three Shih Tzus.
yeah. Can you imagine that?
And you know what? They all get along.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I love your dogs.
Yeah,
You just
they're easy dogs to take
this is
care of.
the land of misfit dogs. You have all different dogs, and they're all awesome.
Yeah.
And we pull up here. I actually love pulling up here because I feel so welcome. Hey, and Mark, the dog. I'm just happy to see you. Give a shit if whether he sees me, but
Hey! Come out running like a dog. Yeah.
how come you don't?
I have to run from work at 20 cents. My wife would be like, oh, make sure you dogs. And there's a little Shih Tzu, the youngest one we have. He gets out and he just sits there. You know, and like if I'm backing up, he just sits there. I'm like, that's like, come on, man, move out of the way, man. I have to get out of my van.
Then you got Piper
And well, Piper I don't worry about because I can see her easy in my cameras.
because it's
I
Clifford,
mean,
the big red dog.
oh no, oh man, she has Clifford disease. We loved her when we first brought her home.
You loved her?
Oh, I loved her from the day one, man.
Oh, you love?
Yeah, I love
Oh,
her.
you? She is.
She was 16 pounds when we brought her home.
Mm,
Matt likes her.
and she probably weighs more than that.
Yeah. Oh, she weighs for a million pounds. 160, 170 pounds. She weighs for a million.
But she definitely weighs more.
Yeah, she's a big girl. It's for a big dog.
Oh,
Like,
absolutely.
she's a very gentle dog. She's really good. Like all my dogs are really. My wife's very good at training them and stuff like that. They have very good recall. Um, but I mean, like,
What happened with you then?
huh? I'm happy. I don't have no recall. I do what I want.
I know, but she did a horrible job of trading.
I'm already trained. I don't have to bark for dinner. Just come in to work for dinner, you know. No, it's the dogs are real good. They're really good with everybody. So and that's what matters.
Yeah.
But
So, Karen and I have been talking about like we need to finish this year out, and part of it is Rackley seems to do that.
I'm at 80 on the news. 80.
And we're trying to increase that, and really are on our last shot at. I mean, not totally, but be able to fish in the way we enjoy. Excuse me. We enjoy fishing them. We're at the very tail end, and the only reason is because the weather is unseasonable here. We were actually just talking about that. That fact that it's dropped down, but it's supposed to be 78 degrees. Yeah.
Sunday's gonna be 70. And it's supposed to be cold all next week again. I think Tuesday's high is like 58, and then next weekend it's back in sevens. But after next weekend,
But we,
they start dipping. But the water's like so. So usually when I go fish the Susquehanna, most of the time, end of October, Susquehanna's down around 50, 48.
ain't there now.
It's still 65 degrees there up there. Like I have a buddy
I
who,
was just on the Bohemian, and it was 72.
yeah, like I have a buddy who fished Harrisburg and told me, well, last week he was out there on the Saturday or Sunday, um, and it was he said 65 degrees. That's too warm. I mean, it's it's starting to catch the big small again. Now starting to catch the big football size ones. That water still has to. Once that water hits 58, it's prime big smallie time.
Yeah.
Once it hits 50, 48, it's still good smallmouth fishing, getting better walleye fishing. Once it goes below 48, it is prime walleye fishing. If it goes below 40, musky time. And it's all musky time then. Because in walleyes, you still catch the walleyes, but the muskie are more active then too. Gotta watch the majors and minors then. Learned that last December.
I need
All the years I fished.
I need to get Bruce McPherson, just putting this out there, and I need to get some of my buddies who are walleye fishermen, muskie fishermen. Christopher, you out there? I need you guys chime in on this stuff. This is your bread and butter. You guys, I have to find it. I have a video. Chris walking out on someone else's ice fishing home, and they had caught a muskie. They couldn't get it out because their hole was too small. And that's um, and he said, "Give me a shot." And he went and he sat down, and it went flipping across the ice. So Bruce and Chris contact Ray and I on this site. I know you're on here, but I don't know if you're watching. But let us know. We're looking for tips for you guys. Okay.
Yeah. Like I said, we figured out a lot of like I figured out the major and minors last year. Never even knew that was a thing that freaking existed. All years. I mean,
But it makes a difference.
it really
Why does right? Like people wants to something low. Why all of a sudden the wind doesn't change, nothing else changes. All of a sudden the bite turns on. So that's actually a big contributor. You and I never knew that until you went fishing with this guy in Muskie and started talking about majors and minors.
yeah, we like looked at me and me. What's this guy talking about? He said, got a major in the morning. Weirdly enough, we have another one right before the end of our trip. And literally, this time, and that's what he said about musky fishing. Is 90% of your trip, and 10% of it's the rest of it's just searching and hoping for like, damn, that major didn't hit, and all of a sudden we were catching fish. Then in the afternoon, the major was over. We were going to leave, and I actually caught another one right there near the end. I think Greg ended up missing two that day. But yeah, the major and the minor was a big thing. It was but hey, but they said it's like the guy. And I really wish Sam would join our group. I might have to hit Sam up and try to get him on here with Blue Ridge Muskies. If you guys ever want to go fishing with somebody and you want to do a muskie trip, very affordable. I did it last year right before Christmas, the whole trip, and that included hotel, gas, and the fishing trip under $350 person.
which is amazing.
And it was. I mean, especially if you catch some a fish of 10,000 casts that you just don't always get that chance to catch one. I mean, there's people out there never even caught one. Nothing like that. I mean, I'm lucky enough to be fishing the Susquehanna for a lot of years. I've caught some in my day, never as big as they were. I caught first
I've never
best.
caught a muskie.
Yeah, I mean it's that's where Greg was. Greg was determined to catch a muskie. And last year he was, hey, if I book a trip, 22nd December, you in? I went up to my wife and I'm like, hey man, a muskie fish on the 22nd? Yeah, sure. What I didn't tell her is I was going away overnight. Going out for the nights. But again, the trip was very affordable. The guy Sam, fantastic dude. The rock-proof boat. We were fishing in 4 foot of water. We were running in a stream that I would tell you I'd be trout fishing in. And we were running over there. This is a 18 foot, maybe it was an 18 foot boat, but it was good time, man. Really, really good time.
So that whole muskie fishing adventure, it's just broadening your horizons. I mean,
It got Greg to get this. Greg last year did the trip to Canada where they rented a cabin right on the lake, rented a boat. They took the boat out every single day. He said all you had to do was just drop a line down and you were real ski or walleye. So it was like, okay, that's cool. Like the muskie. Like you went to Canada. Canada's known for the muskie and pike. And walleye.
yeah, but that doesn't mean shit.
And big smallies. Big freaking smallies.
Where I used to live, I was in Orvis territory.
So that's trout fishing.
I know, but everyone thinks you go up there and you catch it. It's not like that. Just because you're up there, now where a guide comes in here. And by the way, you need to get Ray retired from wood flooring, and you guys, he's gonna be your guy. This dude right here is gonna start a fishing guide company where you all call him, and I'm Ray. I'm promoting you now.
Appreciate it before my
Because
retirement.
before your retirement,
Yeah.
this is what we're going for. Ray's gonna retire
Just fish.
and just fish, and then during the summer, I can.
Come help, and you can run some people out there. Yeah,
But
I mean, I'm.
but this is Ray's. Honestly, what's your dream?
But so.
I know we're off topic, but
Yeah, no,
I gotta say this.
So the show was my idea probably about 4 years ago. I brought it up with Greg. I didn't know Mike yet. I brought it up. Like, oh man, we should do a podcast. And he was, oh yeah, thanks so much for a fishing podcast every week. Just do something. And doing the fishing podcast, meeting the people we've met.
And we've met a lot of people.
Yeah, meeting the people we've met. I feel that I got to this dream here to do this. Like to do something. Like Greg was originally supposed to be with me, and he got other obligations, and that got a little crazier for him. But now we're at that point now where it's like close to retirement. I enjoy fishing. When I retire, that's what I want to do. I just want to do,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I just want to go fishing. I don't, and it's, but you still want to go out and be able to make some money. It doesn't
You
have to
got
be.
what it comes down to is you need to finance your hobby if you.
Yeah, well, it's just like this. I mean, like I do wood flooring. I mean, I do some flooring, luxury vinyl, and hardwood flooring, and that's a hobby to me. Like I go out to work. I don't.
You don't you.
I
I mean,
stress out when I get real busy, but
well,
I enjoy what I do about the work.
you don't live to work. You work to live. That's the thing. I've had these conversations. And for me, I don't. There are people that are so into their job that their lives revolve around it. People like Ray and I, we have our jobs finance our hobbies. If you am I don't mean to speak for you,
Yeah,
but
you have to work.
we have to finance.
I mean, I don't need any more lore, but I still go out and I grab a couple things here and there. You see people using different things, and you're like, okay, I see how that would work.
We talk about this all the
Yeah,
time.
so you go out, you buy something, try it, you got to try it for a week, and it works, and you buy. You like Taylor lure, Taylor lures for snakehead stuff, snakehead and bass. They say, same with snakehead outlaws. Um,
Casting nasty.
yeah, casting nasties with making soft plastics and stuff like that. Scott Walker
Scott's
makes soft.
great.
I mean, it's
Scott's aren't even on sale.
yeah, like it is one of them things where it's you try different things, you learn different things, you try things. Like I have a snakehead box. Mike can vouch for me. It probably has 50 lures in
Easy.
it.
Easy.
I have I think I set Jesse up, Jesse and Frank for retirement after what I did last year.
I know. I'm pretty sure that Frank and Jesse have a wing off their house that's based on
Right.
you and me.
Yeah. So this year, I said to myself all year long, I'm going to try everything. And I have been trying everything. I have things that work and things that don't work. Like to the point where I have a tackle bag that holds a lot of boxes, and I am at the point now where yeah, your camera's running again. Camera's running. Okay. And we are like I'm going to go through my boxes. I'm going to reorganize because I have some snakehead outlaw stuff and that's stuff that I never even used. Physically used it. We tried some different things. Fish mouth, like sit there and say, okay, I'm going to go out and just fish this. My go-tos, Slayer rats,
Absolutely.
snakehead outlaws. They're freaking phenomenal. The Dragon Destroyer, phenomenal, except for the rubber worms on. The only thing that's wrong with them. And I've tried to make some little things, and I haven't tried them yet. I can't wait to get out and try them. But
the underspin.
The underspin, the reaction thing, that was a Greg thing. He said, let's try this out. And I did really good on them. A pond we fished in Delaware, and this year I used it a lot. Now, like this time of year when everything's more subsurface, and they work great. I actually caught one night 3 of my personal best snakeheads were my 3 snakeheads I caught. One was my personal best, the next one was my personal best, and then the last one was my personal best. All in the reaction hook, 4-inch tail.
Yep.
Great. And I'm so excited for the spring of the year because last year, that's when Greg used it.
Yep.
Hunting season comes in, Greg doesn't really fish as much because hunting. So, them things it worked. And it was really, really good. I mean, not something you have to make yourself. But now I'm at the point now, like, so this year, my first full year of fishing, enjoyed it. have learned so much, and I mean,
And that stinks to a lot of our
yeah,
friends.
like I mean, that's me.
Rodney,
Rodney, Rodney Copes, fantastic with Tightline shirts.
but I'm not just saying Rodney. Like we go out.
No, but it's not even that. It's the night I go out fishing. I'm like, you know what? And for all you out there, watch us later. Take it outlaws. Jesse may not get back to you right away. He'll answer you. Might take a day or two. He's going to answer you though. But Frank, if you hit Frank Hubert Jr. up, he's straight up. And these guys don't give you. These aren't your guys that are going to sit there. You say, "Hey man, what are you biting on? You know, yeah, man, try this, and then you're giving you a bunch of shit that's not going to work. They're going to tell you what's freaking working.
And even if it's not their lure,
They tell you what's going.
these guys are. Yeah.
I'm talking with Jesse, like the one that we had a phone conversation with him, and we are going to try to get Jesse on here.
Oh yeah, Jesse.
Yeah, we're calling you out, Jesse and Frank, before the new year, or December. Everybody's out fishing right now. These guys, that's their life, is to go out and use their lures, try their prototypes.
And they're going from thinkheads to stripers now. So.
Yeah, so they're out doing their fishing right now.
And
but now that the light's starting to shut down, like I mean, by the end of October, it's dark at 5:30.
yeah,
I mean, we lose an hour of light through the month of October, so dark's gonna be 5:30. Plenty of time for Jesse and Frank to get. We want to really get on them to get on the show, because I'm going to tell you what, we might talk to Jesse the one night on the phone. In 10 minutes of him on the phone, I learned a lot of stuff, and I think he would be great. These guys have all the knowledge in the world. If you ever need some information, hit them boys up.
these guys will take care. Before you sign off, I just need to say we are. So at this point, we wanted to do a lot of things with the show, but because of fishing season, all our people are out fishing. They don't got time for this stuff, and they are on the water. So at this point, Ray and I are going to start contacting people and trying to get like people like we just talked about, Ray and having to sell houses. So
Let's turn to the school season.
so now we thought our naivety, our because we were new, we were like, okay, once the season here, we're gonna get these people on. No one had time for us, and we didn't have time for that because would you rather be doing a show, or would you rather be fishing?
Fishing.
And
I much rather fishing.
so,
I mean, what that would bring to us, the amount of people I met this year. And it's funny because when you're on Snakehead Outlaws and you see people like Stephen Rusk, got to meet him on the water, and I walked right up to him one morning
oh,
at 5:30 in the morning.
great.
Literally, I just walk up and I'm like, "Oh, I know you, Stephen Rusk." He's like, "Yeah," and I introduced myself, talked to him, and literally I said, "Oh man, hit me up on Facebook." It wasn't even on the water for enough.
Yep.
And I had a friend request from him. So I mean, it's like this
Scott is the perfect example.
Scott's a king. Scott had a pond.
I went home and I found him. But people, this is not about me and Ray.
Mm-mm.
This is us about sharing what we actually truly love.
It's like, and it's also
And
what we're
we
learning.
and what we're learning, but we want
Siri.
we're looking for you guys to contribute and be part of this show. So
I mean, we had John Coverly on here.
no,
All the knowledge that he can give you with soft plastics, amazing.
we don't know that shit.
Yeah, like he does it. He brings us some stuff to try out. Tried them. His rubber worms. I told him what colors I want. They worked. Works great. Didn't work good in my Octorara Lake when I try them in Delaware ponds. They work.
But it just
It's also the different areas. I mean, it's
absolutely.
everything's going to work differently. I mean, again, it all comes down to people you meet, the relationships you build through this, and it's funny because as soon as you tell people, "Hey, we do a podcast, fishing podcast," it really sparks an interest.
Oh,
It
my
really does.
my boys are like, oh, here you go,
Yeah,
because I promote all the time. But then people say,
we get people. Don't tell you. You know, we haven't had Goose Hendo on for a while. I haven't seen, but I think he's got a lot going on.
they do.
Got a lot going. Once
We-
the winter comes, we'll start generating some more. We'll start getting some people, but we do need to reach out and get like Jesse from Snakehead Outlaws on here because I think
I want to get Brian from Delaware Paddle Sports.
I just think Jesse's knowledge and all the people that they know, a Q&A with him on a night, that would have to probably be like a special show where we would have to do an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Yeah.
Because the man in 10 minutes gave so much freaking information, and he's so full of knowledge, so knowledgeable what they're doing because they do it every day. They're out there, and we don't get to go out every day. That's why, like, I look.
We need to wrap this up.
Yeah, I know. But Frank, they all call him Uncle Frank. His big thing is that, that V2 freaking yellow mouse.
I love that.
As soon as he posted a picture back in March or something like that where he used it, and I was like, you know what, dude, we're going to do it. But hey, look, guys,
Listen,
the
Frank,
we quit, we're all over.
Frank, you know that's one of my favorites too.
Yeah, I was on it. We are getting off here. We're signing off till next Thursday. And in the meantime, Mike, what are we going to go do?
We are gone fishing.
Peace out, everybody. Enjoy your evening. Be safe for the week, and we'll all see you next Thursday night at 7:30.
Not a good show.
Give me your mic.